G'day and welcome to another WHTPA video. Today, I'll be flying internationally on Virgin Australia from Melbourne in Australia to Queenstown on the South Island of New Zealand. Okay, here we are, past passport control, so let's get on board. I'm not a huge fan of jet bridges, and I'm sure many aviation geeks will relate to this, as it just feels like from walking into one soulless room to another soulless room. But here we go. Our flight today is Virgin Australia flight VA147, and the flight time is roughly 2 hours and 50 minutes over to Queenstown in New Zealand. I took my seat. Unfortunately, as soon as I sat down, I discovered there were no seatback screens. But it did still have the tray table, a menu, an armrest, and a coat hook. The seat also reclines. After a short wait, we pushed back. Here's a Qantas 787 with an Emirates Airbus A380 behind it.
The instruction card in your seat pocket. Smoking, vaping, and the use of e-cigarettes.
Here's a Qantas Link Dash 8. We're taxiing out to the runway. Here we go. Farewell, Australia. Our summers are long, hot and dry, which is why the grass is so brown and or dead. Unfortunately, climate change is making our summers hotter, longer and drier, and some of our politicians are less than willing to help. Still have some beautiful beaches though. I think this may be Williamstown or Altona. Here's the CBD. Here's what I believe to be the Latrobe Valley Power Station. We ultimately farewelled the Australian coastline for the last time somewhere over East Gippsland. Ride today is VH-YIS, a Boeing 737-800 next generation built in 2012. Our flight today takes us from Melbourne, the capital of Victoria in Australia, across the Tasman Sea to Queenstown, a smaller tourist town on the South Island of New Zealand. The flight path roughly follows the red line. Overall, we probably spent about 2.5 hours over the open ocean. Obviously, I couldn't film all of this, so here are just some snippets. And there it is, New Zealand's coastline. There were exclamations of awe from many passengers as we came in across the snow-capped peaks. As we came in on approach, the pilot warned us that the landing would be harder than usual as more braking force had to be applied due to Queenstown being the second shortest runway that Virgin flies to after Hamilton Island. Interestingly, there seems to be a golf course beside the runway. Taxied in, I spied a Glenorchy Cessna 208 Grand Caravan coming in for landing. As luck would have it, I would be flying on one of these aircraft with Glenorchy to Milford Sound in just a few days' time. There's going to be a video on that, so make sure you like and subscribe for more quality aviation and other transport content. If you have already, thanks a lot, I appreciate it. If you haven't, please do it. At this point, I was kindly allowed to visit the cockpit.